Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. It is the last day of spring today, and also our final bazaar for this season. We get an extra one this month, and then tomorrow when we wake up, it's going to be summer. Now, it's actually really bad timing to have the bazaar today because we're not really going to be able to access any good seeds up until the end of the first week this year. So that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. It'll be interesting to see how summer is this year as we start. I guess I will start by just putting away anything that I'm not going to be selling today. I did do a little bit of inventory management last night, but probably not enough because it is going to take me a little while to sort things out here. So I'm going to bring along some fish. I did a little bit of fishing. I took my new rod out for a spin, just for something different. We might as well try and load up as many of them as we can. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out all of my trash. I don't really know why I was carrying it around with me, to be honest, but I certainly don't need it. I also do not need a watering can. If I just quickly water what I have down here in the basement, we can get rid of that. And thankfully today there really aren't any crops aside from the ones in the basement. So I do not have to worry about watering. The only thing that I haven't done is get rid of my last remaining strawberry plants. I left them right up until the last minute because I kind of thought that maybe I would be able to get one last batch before the season ends, but I don't think that's the case. I'm gonna go out and just look and see. Although it doesn't really matter because we're not going to have access to a lot of seeds at the start of the month anyways, so who knows if we'll end up planting very much. And I've got a lot of stuff that I can bring with me to get rid of. Let's go ahead and bring as much food as we can carry. I've also got some perfume. I've got quite a bit of wool. I'll get rid of my sea urchins, and I'll get rid of some of my potatoes because I'm still just selling those raw. And I'm also going to bring a stack of eggs just because I have so many of them and I certainly don't need them all. And then we do have some more space to bring a few more things, so I will bring some gifts for the girls so that I can wrap them. I'll bring some frogs for Antoinette, some butterflies, and I still have lots of room for stuff. So we'll bring our pudding, our tea, and I guess we'll also bring along our asparagus soup, and I hope that this will all be enough. We actually still have a little bit of inventory space here, but hopefully what I have and what I've brought will kind of keep us busy enough. In this windmill here, I also took the time to make a few items so I can bring my tea can. And I also turned some of my eggs and my remaining oil that I had into some mayonnaise. And for now, I'm going to keep the butter because it may help me with a little bit of cooking. And I don't think I have any seeds ready, but I suppose it's not a bad idea just to check. Nope. I'm gonna have to start maybe manufacturing some grass seeds soon. And at the very least, now if I want to, with the remaining space that I have, I can pick up any flowers I see along the way, especially the toy flowers and the moondrops, because those will not be available next month. I do still have quite a few of them in my inventory, but they do make good gifts for certain villagers that like specific colors. Alright, so we're here at a pretty decent time today, and if we have a nice sales day and we manage to sell lots of stuff, I think we've got the potential to make some big bucks. The party cake that I got from the tea festival yesterday is worth almost $1,500. That is not a bad prize. The tea leaves that I processed are worth just over $1,000, which is also pretty profitable because you will get tea leaves every couple of days, and these really don't take a long time to process. And then everything else I have, I've sold before. Except for the fish. These are medium-sized fish that I caught with my medium rod, but you can see that none of these sell for very much money. And that might change if we upgrade our fishing rod and these fish are no longer worth half a star. And then just for insurance, I brought along 2 necklaces with me today. But we will use those, of course, kind of only as a helper near the end of the bazaar. We're gonna try and pawn off as much of our inventory as possible. I'm very impressed with the amount of things that we've been able to make with everything that we grew this month. 2 people in a row asking for stuff. You know what? At this point, just pay double for my stuff and leave me alone. Thank you very much. Starting with 0 customer service, I don't think that you can get a negative value. I think we've kind of touched on this before, and I'm still not entirely sure, but we haven't even been here an hour, so I think I'm just gonna take the risk. We have all day to kind of make up for it, I hope. And we've already sold a few items, which is great. I am loving kind of getting a little bit more into cooking and just having more of a variety of items to work with and to play with. Being a little bit more of a completionist, being able to actually look at all the crops that this game has to offer. And then we have the nice helpful guy that comes just to be helpful. We'll be nice to him, because he's actually doing us a favor for once, whereas most of the customers want you to do them a favor. And if people keep chatting us up like this, it is not going to be a problem to get our reputation up. And lots of people, big swarms of people, so as long as we keep a lot of inventory and we keep it interesting, hopefully people will continue to shop. And so far so good. We've got a good flow going on. I think we've managed to kind of salvage our reputation, and hopefully this will help our inventory management problem at home if I get rid of enough stuff. I say that every time, and then I still run into inventory issues every time, without fail. That is my toxic trait. Hoarding stuff. Thinking that I will need it or use it, and then sometimes never needing or using it. We've got a lull here, so let's go ahead and put a few more things out. We still have quite a few food items and some crops to sort of help us out. but we are getting a little bit low on inventory. Alright, people, we were doing so well. I had a nice steady flow of customers. We need to keep that momentum going, people. I haven't even made $50,000 yet. I need to make a lot more money to be able to keep myself in the #1 spot. And you know what? Just take the salad. That's my good karma for the day. After making people pay double for some of my items, I suppose helping somebody out will redeem me a little bit. And once again, Freya just keeps walking by. I wonder what I have to sell to get her to come to my stand. Because I'm pretty sure every NPC that walks by, even if they're not an NPC that speaks with you, will purchase something. But I could be wrong because I don't recall Cindy and Lauren ever buying anything from you. So maybe she doesn't, but it bugs me because I see her every single week and she never stops by. And this is the last we're gonna see of Ivan at the Bazaar for another year. We're gonna have new villagers showing up in the summertime. And I am completely drawing a blank at this exact moment as to who we get in the summer. To be fair, it has been a year. I want to say Antoinette comes in the summer, doesn't she? And Dirk, maybe? We'll have to see. Went ahead and sold our necklace. That sold rather quickly. Very nice. And that certainly helped our sales. 125,000. So we're just shy of getting within the sales goal now. Our seeds have been selling relatively well. We're down to 60 grass seeds. I got rid of a bag of strawberry seeds. And we are pretty much down to the last of our inventory now. So I am going to put the necklace out just because I don't really have any other things that I want to put out except for another fish. So I'm going to put that out for the sake of variety here. Maybe we can get Pierre to stop in if there's anything that looks particularly enticing to him. I have food out, so maybe. I was really hoping that the old guy was gonna be Grandpa, but it wasn't. That would be too good to be true. I'm sorry, Pierre, but I'm not going to give you a necklace for half price. I would be crazy. Oh! Oh! Oh, I like that. I didn't want to be too rude, but I guess that was the right solution because he just paid double. Oh my god, that's even better than Grandpa. So we just got like $80,000 for a necklace simply by not being too rude, but also not, you know, straight up telling Pierre that he could just have the item for half price. And the bonus is that our reputation also still went up. It didn't go down. Oh my god, that is amazing. I have never chosen that option before, so there you go. $238,000 now. And hopefully if we sell the rest of this stuff, this may just be our best sales day yet. So we don't have a lot of inventory and I could probably pack up at this point, but I'm kind of determined just to stay and see how high we can get our number. I still learned stuff about this game. And that was a magnificent lesson to learn. Alright, people, keep making me super rich. Just buy a few more of my things. And the things I have out right now are actually worth a decent amount of money. The soups are worth $1,000 each. Grass seeds are worth 560. I think the strawberries are worth 220, and the potatoes are worth about 550. So we only have a few items left, but they're all a pretty decent value. And I really highly doubt I'm gonna be able to sell enough to get me to the 300,000 mark, just because we're kind of running out of time at this point, but wouldn't that have been amazing? People are still asking us questions. I think I have redeemed being a bit of a jerk earlier. And I gotta be honest, going into this bazaar, I wasn't really expecting anything just above the sales goal, really, because I had stuff to sell, but it's not like I had all that much going on, and I figured the necklaces would just add a little bit of extra. But Pierre paying an extra amount on that necklace was incredible. Oof. 291,000. Definitely our best sales day yet. Whew. Okay. Well. Good news. We get to keep most of our money because I don't actually have plans to buy a lot today. Lloyd is not selling any silver or gold. I don't have use for anything that he has today, but I am going to be checking his stall every time I'm here. So maybe next time he'll have some ore so that we can continue to make necklaces. But not today. So we saved some money there. And when I was looking at Nellie's food stall, I noticed that she had some stew for sale. And stew happens to be Amir's favorite gift. This is the gift that will get you the most heart points with him. So I decided to be a good neighbor and just buy a couple for him. This isn't as important as a male character, obviously, but if you're playing as a girl farmer and you're interested in Amir romantically, then this would be a really, really fantastic way to help boost his heart points, especially if you get them wrapped. And I have so much money, I honestly probably could have bought more than 5, but I just thought I would buy a couple. And I would point that out to you folks because that is a really useful find at the bazaar. Really, really help with our affection. And since we bought the fishing rod and the skateboard last time, Felix has the dog bone for sale. I have no idea why he wouldn't just sell the dog bone and the cat bell at the same time, but instead he leaves an empty spot on his counter, which is annoying. But I hope it's not glitched and that he'll sell it to us next week. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the dog bones so we can do some training with our dog. And Sherry's inventory is going to change over next month, and she's not going to have these seeds available. So despite the fact that I still kind of haven't figured out what I want to do with trees, I am going to buy one of each. Just so that I have them, and I have the option to play around with them. And then we can see what trees Sherry will have for sale come summer. And then over at Diego's stall, I figured just because it's here, we've talked about it and I have the money for it, I will buy the fall sun. Again, 10 grand, chump change for me at this point. And there is nothing else of any note at the bazaar today. So my last stop will be for wrapping paper. And I did bring along those gifts today. So I brought along 4 frogs for Antoinette, which I will wrap in blue. 6 butterflies, which I will wrap in red. And then if you're looking to wrap up those stews for Amir, he likes yellow wrapping paper. Yellow is his favorite color. So I've done all of that. I've taken the time to do that, and you'll see that in my inventory when we go into summer and we talk more about the next season when that comes up tomorrow. So what we spent is not even a drop in the bucket compared to what we have in our wallet. And I like the number in our wallet. 616165. $600,000, and I'm just sitting on it, doing nothing. So yeah, unfortunately, my strawberries did not come in. I was just kind of hoping that they would for a final time this season, but the only thing that we're gonna leave is our tea seed. And I gotta be really careful here because I obviously have a lot of seeds in my inventory right now, taking up a lot of storage space, so I am gonna have to kind of be strategic about what it is that I want to plant. I want to make sure that I can get rid of some of those seeds by planting some of them in the basement. And I do plan on making use of the basement here, so we will go over how the farm is going to look and what I'm going to plant and all the work I'm going to do tomorrow. We will, of course, go and look at the bazaar results first. Who was in third? $128,000. I mean, that is still a pretty respectable amount of money. But wow, did we ever surpass that by a stupid amount. $291,810. Oh, so close to 300K. Wow, wow, wow! Please tell me some tips from your success. Tip number 1, don't withhold seeds from your customers. Tip number 2, maybe branch out a little bit, bud, and don't just sell seeds. And we definitely redeemed ourselves. We still have the happiest customers. You're in the top 3 and you have the best reputation. Fantastic. I'm awarding you this prize for your efforts. Ooh, something different. We get some fruit yogurt this time instead of a tea can. Alright. Until next week, Felix, I will have to see how I do next week, considering that I'm not gonna have a whole lot to sell. I sold most of what I kind of had available, and I only have a week to sort of work up more milk, more eggs, maybe some more wool, whatever I can manage to grow. And it looks like our bazaars are going to be kind of even as we go into summer every Saturday, so that's kind of nice to have a little bit of uniformity. I will be back with a video on this day to have a bit of a refresher for summer, and I will hopefully be able to plant some things to show everybody what my plans are. And just real quick to check out my assets, you can see that the earning is much different this year because we have a lot less expenses. There's a lot less things to actually spend money on this year because we bought a lot last year. So I have a feeling that the earnings by the end of the year are not going to be so even with the expenses. And it will be interesting to see just how much in the green we end up being and how much we actually end up spending by the end of the year. But you can definitely see that that is now our current record. Amazing sales day. I cannot wait to see how we do next time. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.